Hello and welcome to the DecisionWise Engaging People podcast. My name is Charles Rogel. I'm a consultant here at DecisionWise. Today we're doing a Meet the Consultant podcast. I have with me today Adam Koozer.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Adam is a consultant at DecisionWise. He's been working with clients recently on both employee engagement surveys and also doing coaching on our 360-degree feedback tools. So Adam, tell us, I guess, about yourself. Where were you born and background, education?
We'll go really far back
Right.
there, right? Yeah, no, thanks, Charles. Originally from Northern California, so about 2 hours north of San Francisco. I always tell people it's not the cool techie area.
That's out in the
it's
boonies.
more of the hippies.
Okay.
So more of the hippies.
Redwood trees.
Yep, you're getting the right idea. Coastline, so that's...
Nice.
That's where I was born and raised. Moved out here to Utah, went to school at the University of Utah, studied psychology with an emphasis in human relations.
Okay.
Had some cool opportunities when I was in school. I got to work for two of the larger not-for-profit organizations here in the area. So I worked for Intermountain Healthcare. I was an employee engagement intern there, and I worked a lot with the Gallup results from the survey and going through and identifying some of that. And prior to those both, I worked for an organization in their capital markets department, more with investor relations. And so that was pretty fun. It was kind of geared around some of the companies here in Utah and different things.
That's good. So you had great experience kind of in line with your major and education that you were kind of striving for.
Yeah, I was, going into college, I think like most kids, a little confused as far as exactly what I wanted to study, but it didn't take very long. I took a lot of business courses, so I did an emphasis in management, but I really fell in love with IO psychology. I took a course in that, and I actually had a mentor previous to school that worked for Partners in Leadership, so a consulting group, and he was a trainer for them, and he talked about the model around experiences. We have different experiences that create beliefs, that create actions, that overall ends up creating the results that we get and different things. And I really just fell in love with the methodology, fell in love with organizations changing as a whole. And so going into college, I pretty much knew I wanted to do this and looked to get into consulting in some capacity.
That's great. And so then you heard about DecisionWise?
I did, yeah. Interesting enough, I was at Intermountain Healthcare, and we had a trainer come to it, and it ended up being somebody that is now leading our consulting function here at DecisionWise. Christian was a trainer there, and heard that he was leaving to come to a consulting group in the area, and so I joked that I followed him over here.
That's great.
Yeah.
He poached you from IHC.
Yeah.
That's good. So now, what's your role? What are you doing? What kind of projects are you working on?
Yeah, so I'm in a consulting role now, but when I started at DecisionWise, a little kind of my background here at DecisionWise, I started in an analyst role, so an assessment analyst. It's also similar a project manager role. And I did that for almost 2 years and worked with a lot of organizations, primarily focused on employee engagement surveys, as well as leadership development, coaching programs and different things like that. And again, just the work was right in line. I enjoyed it, got to work with dozens of organizations kind of focusing on these areas. And then we saw a unique opportunity in the organization, and we created a client success department. Yep. And a lot of what that was focused on was helping our clients get the outcomes that they were looking for. So doing these surveys with us and really focusing on what that next step is, how to really get the results that they're looking for within their organization. And so I worked more in that piece and working with our clients to try to help make our products better, partnering with them to get action plans and different things like that. And then I moved again into this consulting role where it's a little bit more focused, and I get to work with individual clients in a little bit more of an extensive way around the survey process and things.
Yeah, debriefing their results, interpreting results, things like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anything you want to share in terms of client stories, successes, insights you've gleaned so far?
Yeah. So the client success role was really interesting. I was really able to work with the large majority of the clients that we work with here at DecisionWise. And so there was very few clients that I didn't get to meet with, but it was always fascinating for me to see. I kind of there was always the individuals that were top performers, almost you would say, clients that would work with us to get really, really high engagement scores, really high just overall scores in general.
Yeah.
You get kind of this grouping of people just kind of in the mix, which, working on creating plans and different things. And then there was always, the individuals maybe a little bit lower than average and in the group there. But what I found to be most interesting is the group that was always, the group that was in the top performer category were the ones that were the most engaged just in the overall process. And not only the most engaged, but they were the ones that were the most critical.
Okay.
And so you'd be on a call with someone in that top performer group, and they were most interested in all the things they had to improve. Oh, we got all this work that we need to do, all these different things.
The lowest scoring items.
The lowest scoring items.
Yeah,
all these
hyper-focused.
Now, you might be with a group that maybe got lower scores, lower than the DecisionWise, global benchmark or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
A little less concerned, a little more kind of, go with the flow, a little less. And so I learned pretty quickly there that the individuals, and a lot of times I would ask them, I would say, you have really great scores here. What's leading to your success here?
Yeah. And
I would say that the number one answer that was given to me was, well, this isn't just a one-time thing. We're doing this all throughout the year. This is just a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
The survey piece, right? Getting the results, getting the data, organizing it in different ways. And the way that I looked at it was these individuals, these top performers, they didn't view it as do the survey, look for potential, and then action plan. They did it the other way around. They knew what their potential was. They knew what they were doing well. Then they moved into this piece of created action plan, and the survey was really measure
the progress.
The progress that they were completing. And it's the complete opposite way of looking at it. And so I think sometimes we get into this pattern of, well, we survey, we find a problem, and then we fix it. It's a logical way to think about it.
Kind of being more reactive.
Right. And I think the thing, again, just the top performers are really looking at what's important. There's a quote that I like, and I'll just paraphrase it. It's by a German professor, but he basically says, whatever's important before the survey will be important after the survey. Whatever was not important before the survey will not be important after the survey. So it's this idea of it's really the work that you're doing outside of the measuring, but the data itself helps understand if we're hitting the target, if we're right on track, if we're making the progress and the gains that we're looking for in the organization.
Yeah. So not just kind of being a slave to the same survey questions every year, but really measuring against those relevant topics that are driving success.
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. Good. So anything else, I guess, about client interactions or your approach or philosophy to working with clients?
Yeah, I would say that the experience that I've most enjoyed here at DecisionWise are the clients that we work with for multiple years, the ones that are with us 3, 4, 5 years, and we're able to receive trending data from these clients. And these are the clients that see it as an iterative process.
Yeah.
So it's not just a one-time deal. This is something that you can see what the historical data is showing, the linear trend of the data. And what's really rewarding and really fun to see are the organizations that worked with us 5 years, and every year engagement gets better, overall score gets, it starts to improve. And DecisionWise provides the tools, the resources. We really help set people up for success, but it's so fun to watch these individuals really dig into making action happen within their organizations. And it's really these individuals that, the pat on the back to them, right? The ones that do things all year round. They're the ones, on the floor doing the work in and out. And it's just always so fun to watch. And a lot of times these are HR folks, maybe people that were tasked with the engagement survey, whatever it might be, but presenting these results to the organization where their leaders really have invested into the process, where then it's shifted to the manager level, where managers start to see this as an important piece. Yeah. Them being engaged, their teams being engaged. I'd say just overall, just watching those trends and seeing organizations improve is really rewarding in that. Yeah, that's true. And so their efforts are paying off. You're getting investment and interest from the executive team, and they're kind of providing the support and resources to make it happen. Yeah. That's great. Excellent. Anything else you want to share with the audience before we close? Yeah, I would just say that with some of my work in the customer success world, I think it's pivotal in kind of my approach. I look at a lot of the CX space and what they're doing. And one of the equations that I really like is this one that it says customer success equals customer experience plus customer outcomes. So the overall aggregate experience that the individual is having, as well as the outcomes that they're receiving from it, equals success. And I think it translates similar to the employee experience, which is maybe we would think about it more as employee engagement.
Yeah.
But the employee experience plus the employee outcomes equals employee engagement, in that kind of being the measure of success, right?
Right.
People feel engaged in the work. And I just think, again, just going back to the same point, this idea that this measure, assess, and then action and move forward. Organizations that are able to measure the different aspects of the employee experience, they're able to see this as an ongoing effort. We have some clients that work with us, onboarding exit surveys, anniversary surveys, pulse in between, targeted group pulses, different coaching. Just the organizations that take it from a full spectrum, looking at the whole picture, are really the ones that are successful in this approach. And overall, they're the ones that see results with their customers, see the results, at the bottom line. That's what
multiple ways.
Yeah, and that's what organizations are looking for. And so, yeah.
Excellent. Well, Adam, thank you. It's been a great conversation. Pleasure to have you working here. And we look forward to having you on future episodes.
Great. Thanks, Charles.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Bye now.